Today we're going to play Heroes. Now, Heroes have gotten a pretty bad rap from Hero Alliance last year and Eternal Bond this year, but trust me, Heroes are a real deck. They don't need a broken skill to play, and they are very powerful. The recent unlimit of Malicious means that we can play the true Omni-Hero deck at full power once again. Let me show you what it looks like. The skill is called Wounded Hero. It lets you play an elemental hero monster from your deck in attack position with attack less than or equal to the total damage you've taken so far in the duel, once per duel. It's only elemental heroes, so we have a lot of Vision heroes and Destiny heroes in the deck. We can't summon any of them with this skill. The only cards that we have in the deck that can be targets are Elemental Hero Stratos and Elemental Hero Liquid Soldier. Still though, the deck is so powerful and the games are over so quickly that this skill doesn't really come into play anyway. We don't really need much of a skill. You could replace this with Fusion Time if you really wanted to, and you probably wouldn't see much of a difference. For the main deck, we have Vision Hero Ferris. You can discard one other hero monster, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special summon, you can place one Vision Hero monster from your deck in your spell and trap zone as a face-up continuous trap. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of the turn except hero monsters. Each effect is a hard once per turn. Ferris is the most powerful hero in the game, and I'm not joking. You use Stratos to draw Ferris. Basically, the only reason that you play Stratos in Heroes, really, is because Ferris is level 5, and you can't search it with Rhoda. You play Rhoda to draw Stratos, so you can summon Stratos to draw Ferris. Ferris is your entire combo starter. You'll see how good the card is when we talk about the other cards, but if you don't have this card at 3, I definitely recommend you get this card at 3. Heroes are very expensive. Sorry. Elemental Hero Stratos. When this card is normal or special summon, you can activate one of these effects. You can destroy spells or traps on the field up to the number of heroes you control except this card, or you can add one hero monster from your deck to your hand. So, a couple things to know about this card. Number 1, it misses timing. Yes, that's bad, but just normal summon it. Number 2, not once per turn. Number 3, the spell and trap destruction does not target. So you activate the effect, your opponent will then respond by activating whatever spells and traps they need to activate, and then you just pop all the other ones and you don't target, so your opponent can't respond to you declaring that you're going to pop this particular spell. And the add a hero is any hero, not just elemental heroes. It's a great card. Malicious, you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon one Malicious from your deck. So usually we will mill this card with Vion, and we will use it to get more fusion action going on. It's great. Liquid Soldier, when this card is normal summon, you can target one level 4 or lower hero monster in your graveyard and special summon it. So if you happen to get this card going second and you don't really need to use it for fusion material, you can use it to bring back Stratos and pop spells and traps. That's pretty good. If this card is used as fusion material for a hero monster and sent to the graveyard or banished, you can draw 2 cards and discard 1 card. You can only use 1 Liquid Soldier effect per turn and only once that turn. So Liquid Soldier is our bread and butter. We will usually mill this card off of Vion if we already have Malicious, or if we don't have Malicious, we'll mill Malicious with Vion and use Stratos to draw the Liquid Soldier. Hopefully we draw the Ferris too. But it's a short deck. You don't always get every combo piece, but usually you will. Liquid Soldier is primarily used to draw back row. We have a lot of back row in this deck, so we want to make sure that we have set to pass, and Liquid Soldier gets us there. Vision Hero Increase. If you take battle or effect damage while this card is in the graveyard, you can place it face up in your spell and trap zone as a face up continuous trap. During the main phase, either player's main phase, if this card is treated as a continuous trap, you can tribute 1 hero monster to special summon this card. If this card is special summoned from the spell and trap zone, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower Vision Hero monster from your deck. You can only use each effect once per turn. So Increase is a very good card. We will set this off of Ferris, tribute the Ferris to special summon itself, and then you get to pull out Vion, which is amazing. Basically go 2 for 2 because you discard a card from your hand and then you get 2 monsters. But the nice thing about Increase is that it can activate its effect during the opponent's turn to set itself again, which basically means that you can do the whole thing all over again. The only problem with that is that we're not running 2 polymerizations. Vion searches polymerization, by the way. You could run 2 polymerizations in this deck. I haven't really found a spot to cut, but I do know that I've really definitely felt when this game drags on that I don't have a whole lot of options. We try to use the Extra Hero Wonder Driver to recycle polymerization. It's possible the deck needs to be 21 cards, or you could cut Rhoda. I haven't figured it out fully. I do know that this deck is very, very powerful, but it also feels extremely one-sided, like either you win super early or you run out of fuel. I don't know that Polymerization at 2 would really fix that, though, because you would just run out of cards in the extra deck, really. Vision Hero Vion, if this card is normal special summon, you can send one hero monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use this effect once per turn. And then as a soft once per turn, you can banish a hero monster from your graveyard to add one Polymerization from your deck to your hand. That's amazing. That's the combo. Mill Malicious off of this play. Rhoda, draw a level 4 lower warrior. That's great. Get Stratos, or Liquid Soldier if you already have Stratos. Book of Moon, Ice Dragon's Prison, and Compulsory Evacuation Device control the board. Polymerization, Fusion Spell, very necessary. And lastly, we have Miracle Fusion. You can fusion summon one elemental hero by banishing materials from it from your side of the field to the graveyard. You draw this off of Sunrise. It's a very good card. You can only make elemental heroes with it. So usually you'll just use it to make another copy of Sunrise. Maybe you use it to make Great Tornado. It's a great card. Sunrise requires 2 heroes with different attributes. Almost all of our heroes are dark. So you will make it with any of these monsters and then either Stratos or Liquid Soldier or Wonder Driver. If this card is special summon, you can add one Miracle Fusion from your deck to your hand, and when an attack is declared involving another hero monster you control, you can target one card on the field and destroy it. Both of those effects are hard once per turns. Lastly, monsters you control gain 200 attack for each different attribute you control. That stacks with itself. So making 3 Sunrises is excellent. You just have a huge board with 3,000 attack points and you kill people. Elemental Hero Great Tornado requires an Elemental Hero plus a Wind monster. Must be Fusion Summoned and cannot be Special Summoned other ways. If this card is Fusion Summoned, have the attack and defense of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. So, previously when I played this deck, I played Necrofusion, and I would make Elemental Hero Great Tornado during my opponent's turn. Like, if they went into the battle phase after clearing my whole board, I could Necrofusion, Special Summon Great Tornado by banishing Stratos or Liquid Soldier from the graveyard, and then making this card and having all my opponent's attack points permanently in the middle of their battle phase. It's really good, but I don't think that's really a viable option these days. When I did this before, I was playing Solid Soldier, which was another elemental hero target. Now I actually have very few elemental heroes in the deck, so I don't actually know that you could pull that off with any sort of efficiency, especially since you're going to be using Miracle Fusion to make a second elemental hero Sunrise going first, usually, just to make sure that you have a board that's hard to crack. So that means banishing at least one of your elemental heroes from the graveyard. Tinker with it. If you like Great Tornado, you can definitely adjust this deck to have more elemental heroes in it. Vision Hero Trinity. This is our boss monster. It requires any 3 heroes. During the turn this card was Fusion Summon, its attack is double. That is not an activated effect. It can only be negated by cards like Forbidden Chalice or Phoenix Chain. It cannot be negated by a card like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. This Fusion Summon card can attack 3 times during each battle phase, and it cannot attack your opponent directly. So you're just wait for your opponent to put 2 monsters out in attack position, and then you just make Trinity and you kill them. It's amazing. This card is a Vision Hero monster, which means that you can only make it with Polymerization as opposed to Miracle Fusion. So you have to have 3 heroes on your field and in your hand, but it's such a game ender that it doesn't really matter. We're playing Nightmare Unicorn and Nightmare Phoenix. You get locked into heroes pretty early by Vision Hero Ferris, but to be honest, I don't really know what else I would play in this deck in terms of fusion monsters. We don't run any Destiny heroes except Malicious, so it's not like we can play Dystopia. You could play a Skiri-Dao, but all a Skiri-Dao does is gain a little bit of attack points, so it's not really worth, in my opinion. It's easier to make than Great Tornado, so maybe just the fact that it's like an easy Miracle Fusion target is worth something. But I don't really think so. And there's not really any other elemental heroes that we can make with this board. Extra Hero Wonder Driver is a fantastic card. It requires 2 hero monsters. If a hero monster is normal or special summoned to your zone this card points to, target 1 Polymerization spell card, 1 Miracle Fusion in your graveyard, and set it. You can only activate this effect once per turn. If this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, or if this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 hero monster from your hand, which is fantastic. So you want to make Wonder Driver and then Fusion Summon Sunrise to the zone that Wonder Driver points to. That will allow you to draw Miracle Fusion, and it will allow you to set Polymerization. So you can potentially get 3 Sunrises at the same time. That is fantastic. Alright, let's take a look at the replay. So we are going second against Constellars, and I know how much you guys love that. Opponent's going to activate Constellar Union, reveal the Pollux, send Sombre and Zubin Shamali to the graveyard, normal summon Pollux. Pollux gives us an extra normal summon. Normal summon Rasalhagu and tribute it to special summon the Sombre from graveyard. Sombre effect, banish the Rasalhagu to add the Zubin Shamali. Sombre second effect, get another normal summon Zubin Shamali, draw the Caduceus. Xyz, make Pleiades, special summon Caduceus, draw Star Chart. Activate Star Chart and go into Omega. Draw one, set one, and pass. Okay, now, Pleiades is a fairly good turn one, usually. It's very good against Xyz, Synchro, and Lynx. It's pretty bad against Fusion. If we summon a monster and our opponent Pleiades is it, we can still make it, because we can use fusion materials from our hand. So really what we were worried about is this face down card. We have full combo in hand. The only dead card in our hand is the second Stratos, but we can still use that as fusion material. So really what we're worried about, we want to try and force our opponent's face down card. And then we want to bait the Pleiades and then go into Trinity, because our opponent has two monsters in attack position. So we activate Ferris, we're going to discard Malicious, that's amazing. We activate Ferris' second effect to play a monster from our deck. Our opponent is going to Book of Moon that. That's fine, because it doesn't stop the effect. We activate Increase's effect to tribute the Ferris. Now, this is where our opponent could have won the game. If our opponent had responded to us tributing Ferris to declare the effect of Increase by using Pleiades to bounce the Increase, Increase doesn't special summon itself, we don't get the Vion, and our hand is nothing. So we would have to have set Book of Moon past, and our opponent had Omega, they would have killed us. Our opponent didn't read, so they don't stop it. But Increase is a very, the weakest part of the combo, because you have to declare the effect by tributing a monster, and then your opponent can just MST this, Cosmic Cyclone it, Pleiades it. If this card is destroyed or removed from the field while it's in the spell and trap zone, you're screwed. Alright, so they don't do anything, so we special summon Vion from our deck. Vion is going to mill another Ferris, because we already have Malicious in the graveyard. Vion effect, banish the Ferris to add Polymerization to our hand. Now we don't have to worry about anything. Our opponent can Pleiades us at any time as long as it's before we summon Trinity, so we just pop off. Normal summon Stratos, draw Liquid Soldier, link off, make Wonder Driver, Malicious, banish itself, special summon Malicious, and then we activate Polymerization, and we're going to fuse the Liquid Soldier and the Stratos in our hand to fusion summon Elemental Hero Sunrise. Extra Hero Wonder Driver's effect, Chainlink 1, Polymerization gets set. Sunrise's effect, Chainlink 2, draw Miracle Fusion. Liquid Soldier effect, Chainlink 3, draw 2 and discard 1. At this point, our opponent is going to activate Pleiades because he only has the one Pleiades effect left to protect himself. The Sunrise has 3,000 attack points. It is probably the biggest boss monster that we have, he assumes. So he's just going to get it off the field before we can do anything with it. We draw 2, we draw Vion and Stratos. We're going to discard Book of Moon because we don't need it, and we draw Miracle Fusion. This is fantastic. Set the Poly, and now we activate Poly, and we're going to fuse the two monsters on our field with the monster in our hand to make Trinity. At this point, our opponent surrenders because we have 5,000 attack points, and we can crush both his monsters. There you go. Constellar at full power going first. They had Disruption, they had their full combo, and we managed to crush them with very little work. This is the power of heroes. This is the power of playing a deck that draws through your entire deck, special summons multiple monsters, and allows you to fusion summon multiple times in a single turn. My name is Serafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.